Hello, Sable Truffles parents. This is your week 3 litter update for these mini Australian Labradoodle puppies. Hi, I'm Claire from Isle Doodles, and today we're going to be talking about a lot of things that start with the letter T. We are going to give you your usual update on all the puppies. We're going to enjoy some operatic sound effects from Mr. Pirate here. We're going to give you an update on their birth weight, or rather on their current weights. We're going to let you know if their ears are opened. We'll give you an update on Mama Juniper, who you can see is not with us right now. She is just out of camera range because she's enjoying this break from her puppies. And then we're going to talk about 3 important T's in your dog's life, and that's toys, treats, and tripe. So let's get started. First of all, these puppies are now 3 weeks old and all of them have their ears open. They're not completely open yet, but you'll see they're starting to perk up when they hear sounds. And Mr. Pirate is giving us this week a tremendous amount of communication. He always has something to say. He often sounds like he's in complete distress, but he's not. That's just his way of communicating right now. And that's not because he's a whiner or he's very upset. It's just because he's only finding his puppy voice. And that's his puppy voice. That's what I mean by it sounds like he's just beside himself. And really what he's doing is yelling at Juniper because he's telling her he is hungry. And where is the milk bar? He has no problem communicating, as we can see. Now, don't let that influence you, because you may find on week 8, when you're coming to pick your puppy up, that he's the one who never utters a word, and one of the ones who doesn't say anything yet is the one who's more talkative. Now, Juniper is an experienced mom, as we know. This is her 3rd litter of Labradoodle puppies, and so she is quite confident about leaving them. She's also well aware that we are rapidly approaching the time when the puppies can be weaned and started on solid food. Now here she comes. She's finally going to hear that call of distress from Mr. Pirate. Thanks, Juniper. I think he's trying to tell you he'd like you to come join us. So what is happening here is the puppies are 3 weeks old now. At 3 weeks old, they can generally start to have some solid food. We don't always give them solid food at 3 weeks. We sometimes wait until they're 4 weeks. For me, that is the preferable time. And the only reason I prefer to wait until then is just to give their digestive systems a little bit more time to mature. But if we see that the puppies are fussing like Pirate and Mom is saying, yeah, I'm good with not being in all the time, we'll start them off on some solid food on week 3. Now, if we start at week 3, what we do is we start with a combination of raw goat milk, and we use goat milk because it is most similar to mama doggy milk. We mix a little bit of plain rice pablum in with that, and the reason we do that is just to make it easier for the puppies to lap. Lapping is not something dogs come knowing how to do. It's something you have to teach puppies how to do. So you can hear Pirate is still fussing, and that's because there's not a whole lot at the milk bar. So that's why he's complaining. Everyone else probably tanked up, and he's biggest, or he or Red are biggest, and so he's the one who's feeling hungry most often. So that's why you can see he's fussing around now. He's getting anxious. He's really feeling unhappy that what usually is his source of satisfaction and comfort is no longer providing that for him. So right after we do this video, we are going to try and start them on some solid food. And that will be the goat milk, the pablum that we have for them, and then in that we mix a little bit of pumpkin. And the reason we put the pumpkin in is because pumpkin's something of it's a digestive coating. It keeps the tummy operating smoothly, so there's not diarrhea and there isn't constipation. Because of course, moving the puppies from mama's milk over to something that is different can sometimes cause a little bit of tummy upset. So I hope that once we get that going, that Mr. Pirate here will be the puppy who actually figures out really readily, oh, I put my tongue in here and then my tummy gets filled up. Sometimes they're not too good at figuring out how it all works. Sometimes they chew on the dish and all they do is walk through it. Oh my goodness, but he has lots of motivation, so I'm hoping that motivation is going to stand him in good stead and that he will figure it out quite quickly. I'm going to put him back over here and see if maybe the back one has a bit of space. Now you saw Juniper was cleaning him up here underneath her chin, and so now lucky me, while she did that, he peed all over me. So that is one of the things that's also happening right now, is the puppies are going to the bathroom on their own. They no longer have to have Juniper all the time helping them with that. Oh my goodness, he's just so sad. I'm so sorry, buddy. I feel so bad when he's crying like this, but there's not much I can do until we get a pan of food out for him. So just don't mind him. Now, Juniper herself is, as I said, feeling very happy to leave the puppies. She's out in the house with us more regularly now. We've given her access to a bit more space outside. And this weekend, we will move the puppies. As you can see, they can get around really well. Pirate has no problem walking all over his siblings here. They are really mobile in the box. So this box isn't big enough for them anymore. They need to have some more space to exercise, get those muscles toned up, and start to develop some more coordination. Holy buddy, I tell you, Juniper's looking at me like, oh, can you do something with him? Because of course it's sad for her when she hears that she has a baby crying like that. It's a very, very sorrowful sound, isn't it? And you can see everyone else is totally fine. Nobody else is complaining. It's just Pirate. And that is because that's just who he is right now. He is a bit of a whiny baby. Now, the other thing that we have introduced to the puppies is a couple of toys. Now, one thing that is often a misconception when it comes to dogs is that we think of toys and treats the way we think of those for human children, that they're extras, they're bonuses, they're things that you get when you're especially good. But for puppies, that's not the case. Toys are incredibly important for their development, both physical and mental. And it's critical that you understand what type of toy is appropriate at what time. You don't, for instance, want to be introducing the puppies this age to a toy that's some kind of hard rubber toy. Maybe we need one that has a silencer on it. Oh my goodness. I'll just keep him with me. It won't help, but at least it might distract him for a minute. So it's important that you understand all of the various things that go along with what toys are given at what age. So right now we have this big elephant here, and you're going to see this elephant at different times in their development. Right now, the only reason the elephant is in the room, no pun intended, is to get them used to having something else that's not them. This is the first part of desensitization, where something unexpected, a little bit big, and a little bit different is in the midst of their world. And then this is just an actual human baby toy. There is a part on it that you can chew on it that's hard. You can see it's been chewed on a lot. But right now, it's just here because it's bright. They'll walk by it and knock it. It will move, and as it moves, that's something that they don't expect. These are their first introductions to desensitization. So we want them to be soft, not too scary, but something that still does something that is having an impact on them. And the little elephant here, when you turn it on, might not need to turn it on, it does things when you press its paws. It makes sounds. That's not what I want to be doing with these puppies at this age. That's what I want to be doing when the puppies are older. For now, we just want the elephant to be here. But you can see, maybe my battery is dead. Could be from the last litter that it's all worn out. So that's fine, because that's not what we're looking to do right now. But what happens is the elephant sings a song and the ears go up and down. So that's later on in the process. The last thing you want to do is introduce things to the puppies before it's time to do so. You want to always be really aware of where each puppy is at. So you can see Pirate is getting more comfort here than the others. They're all perfectly fine. They don't need any extra comfort. But Pirate, because he's feeling so neglected, and I can tell you his tummy is not empty by any means. He's just needing a little bit of extra love. So he's making it really obvious because he's screaming and yelling at us. But everybody else, look what they're doing. What are you learning from their body language? So it's really important right from the time your puppy comes home that you watch them and that you understand all the nuances of their body language, because that's how you get to know, oh, my puppy is not happy in this situation. So for instance, let's say the elephant's ears did start to move and it was frightening for your puppy. They may not always run away or shriek or go like this. They might not cower and make it really clear to you that they're feeling uncomfortable. Instead, they may show you a very subtle sign of stress, and one of the most common is your dog will lick their lips. That's always a sign your puppy is feeling a little bit anxious. Now again, that's subject to interpretation. So my dog Ripple, she licks her lips a lot. She is a dog who communicates her anxiety quite a bit, and she does worry about a lot of things. So in the morning when she's on the bed with us and I'm petting her, it's just before we're getting up, she'll start licking her lips because the other dogs realize, oh, Mom's getting up. They come up and they come up to get pets on the bed. So Ripple is not particularly stressed or anxious. She's just a bit annoyed that she's now going to have to share my attention. So there's a lot of subtleties there that you need to just watch and understand each dog and how they communicate. My other dog, Spirit, for instance, almost never licks her lips. It's very seldom you see her do that. If she does, she definitely is anxious and seriously anxious about something. Spirit is the strong, silent type. She's very stoic, so she's very careful not to portray too many signs of when she is upset about something. So for Spirit, you really have to look for the signs. Whereas Ripple, she'll show you really readily. The lips will be licked. She'll shiver a bit. She'll change her body posture. She's an excellent dog to learn about body language from. Whereas Spirit, unless you really know her well, you won't even notice that something has happened to cause her any upset. So once you have your puppy at home, right from the get-go, you want to start watching your puppy and understanding how they communicate to you. Because just like you and I, we're all different. Some of us are very much the strong, silent type. Some of us wear our hearts on our sleeve. You know, you can always tell how I feel. It's on my face. Man, there are some commercials that make me cry, whereas many other people, you don't ever see anything, and they can go through a terrific tragedy and just appear to have been not affected by it at all. So just like we read people and we watch their facial expressions, we need to learn to do that with our puppies. Now the other T that's going to come up as soon as you take your puppy home is treats. Now, again, treats are not like giving yourself a treat. Maybe that you enjoy going to the spa. Maybe you like a latte. Maybe you like a chocolate cupcake. Maybe you like all those things. And those are treats that you give yourself. They're not something that you do every day. But when we refer to treats for dogs, treats are how we pay our dogs. It's how we communicate to our dogs, I love you, you're valued, what you're doing is right. All too often, especially if you look on the internet or various Facebook forums, you'll see endless posts of people saying, oh, my dog doesn't do this, or my dog is doing this and I don't want them to. It's not very often someone's going to make a post or even comment to their spouse, for instance, saying, oh, you know, Green Collar was great today. She didn't do, or he rather, didn't do anything wrong. Because we just are, as humans, expecting that. But we're asking our dogs every day to change their basic nature and live with us and follow our rules. So if your dog hasn't done anything wrong and hasn't done something remarkably good, they're still doing what you're asking them to do. And it's important that you have a variety of ways to reward, pay, and praise your dog for that behavior. So let's say Pirate here was a bit older. Now that he's settled down and he's quiet, I would be giving him an actual treat. And I mean by this, a food treat. Something to tell him, this is what I really appreciate. Already what I'm doing right now and have been doing since he started shrieking is actually treating him. I'm giving him extra attention. He's getting all this tactile support. He's cozied up here with my legs, mimicking Juniper, and that's helping him to calm down. I can feel in my fingers that the tension in his body is being released, and he's starting to breathe at a more normal rate. He's too little for me to give a food treat to, so I can't reward him that way. I can only reward him with my touch. And I also don't have a relationship with them yet that's strong enough where they care if I go, oh, you're such a good boy, Pirate. I love you so much. That's really important for your dogs. So throughout the day, I stop with each of my dogs. I tell them they're the best dog in the world, how much I love them. I soften my body position so it's like in an S form. I avert my eyes. I give them a tummy rub or an ear scratch, and I almost always kiss them between the eyes. That's not always something dogs like. Mine have learned to tolerate me. But what they do like is hearing that you love them. They have a vocabulary of about 300 words. And while they don't actually know what it means when I say, I love you, you're the best dog ever, they get it. They know exactly what I'm conveying to them. And then at other times, I give them an actual treat. So Juniper is finding where I have them all right now. So treats are food, and they're only called treats because they're not what is in their regular meals. I'm going to use Juniper here to give some of the treats if she doesn't open the package on her own, first of all. Thanks, Judy. You can just wait for a minute, okay? Thank you, sweetheart. So you can tell how interested she is. So the reason why they're called treats is because they're generally high value. They're a flavor, a taste profile that dogs love, and doesn't have a lot of in their food. So when you're giving them something, and especially when they're puppies, you're going to be giving them a lot of treats because you're teaching them all the time. Let's make it something that's really good for them. So one of those things is tripe. Now, tripe is an extraordinarily smelly item. You can get it as a frozen raw product, and I do use it as a frozen raw product. I've become a little bit nose blind to it because I do use it so much, but for most people, it's really an offensive smell. The thing I dislike about the raw the most is it tends to get on my fingers, and it takes me a long time to get the smell off my hands. So instead, let's use it as a treat. Now I have 3 different kinds of tripe here, and these are the 3 companies that we deal with the most right now. Puppy Love has a freeze-dried tripe product. Pets for Life has a smoked freeze-dried tripe product. This one is surf and turf. This one is beef. And then Nothing Added also has a tripe product that comes in both lamb and beef. So I like to use all 3 of these in combination because they all 3 do something different and offer something different to my dog. So the Puppy Love one is the one that comes in the smallest format, and it's just a very, very small, very lightweight treat. You can see it's just tiny like this, and you can see how she sat without me even asking her, because this is something Juniper really loves. Oh, and now Pirate's going to get all excited because Mummy's back nearby. So some of the pieces are bigger, and you can break these up when you're training. But a very nice, easy way to reward your dog when you're out on a walk, or when you're doing a particular learning lesson together. You can put them in your pocket, in your treat pouch really easily, and they don't have anything that's too difficult or messy to deal with. And the other thing that you can do is use them as a topper on their food. So you can take a handful and just sprinkle it on top of their food. If you ever have a puppy who's not wanting to eat, if you start them off with that, then they're sure to keep going and investigating further. Now this other one that's from Pets for Life, this is the one that's surf and turf. This has to be put in the fridge after it's been opened. And it too is nice and small. It's soft. It's really easy to break up. And you'll have to excuse me, I have a dislocated thumb, so it's really hard for me to open packages right now. So these come in this size. It looks like a little bit of jerky. But when you're training your puppy, you don't need to give them this whole piece. You can easily break it up, and all they need is something this small. That's it. They just need a little tiny taste of it. That way you're not overloading them with anything. Liver treats are very popular as well, and liver treats are something we want to be very careful with, that we don't give too much of. You can get a loose stool from that. It also is very high in vitamin A and in copper. And there is a lot of liver already in raw dog food, and so we want to be sure we don't overload our dogs with too much liver. Now these ones are from Nothing Added, the beef and the lamb ones. This one is, I believe, lamb. These are my favorite for puppies when they're teething, and also for my adult dogs when I want to give them something to do. So you'll see this is a much bigger piece. This isn't something you're going to put in your treat pouch, and this isn't something you're going to do while you're doing a lesson with your dog. This acts as a nice chew for your dog. It's good for cleaning their teeth, and it also gives huge value for them. So you see how much longer it's taking for Juniper to go through that one piece. She's really working at it and getting through it. I like that for that purpose. Now, why tripe? What's so fancifully wonderful about tripe? Tripe is a natural probiotic. It is full of many micronutrients that you don't find anywhere else in a dog's food. It is an extremely good digestive aid, and it's also wonderful for their coat and for their skin. So it has a lot of benefits for your dog, and that's why when I'm giving my adult dogs a treat, I prefer to give them a tripe treat over anything else, because it does offer all those benefits. Now my moms, when they're here and they're feeding their babies, this helps to make their milk really rich and really good for the puppies. So you have to be careful that you limit it, because you don't want to have the milk so rich that the puppies are getting it and the puppies get diarrhea. That's the last thing you want. So all these things you have to be rotating through. You'll hear me talking all the time when we're talking about nutrition about how you need to rotate things. You need to go from low value to high value. You need to have some tripe, but not too much. You want some liver, but you don't want to overload the liver, and on and on. There's many, many different other treats that we have, which we'll talk about later. This was just an example today because I thought we'd follow the tea theme since we're on the 3-week litter update here. So you can buy all of these things through our Curated Canine store. That is our online food store where we have all the supplies and all the food that you need. And for those of you who are getting a puppy from this litter, when it's time for the puppies to go home, I will prepare a food box for you if you wish to purchase it. It will have all the food, all the supplements, all the treats, all the chews, all the bones, everything your puppy will need for a month or longer. And that way it gives you a really easy way to ease into raw feeding, understanding how things are rotated, amounts to feed, and so forth. Because each box will come with a full list of instructions on how to do it. And if you don't live on Vancouver Island and you can't get your food delivered to you by Curated Canines or in the mail, then I will tell you where you can go and find everything that we recommend for your puppy in the area that you live in. And then we can help you build a plan together. So you might have some of your things shipped from Curated Canines and then added to from your local pet store. I know, I love you too. So that's our update for today. Oh no, we haven't done the puppies' weights. Oh my goodness, we have to do the puppies' weights. Yes, I'm just going to pass these treats to Reynold so that Juniper doesn't try and eat them all and have too much tripe in her system. She'll probably leave now. Yeah, she's going to follow the treats. So, all right, let's go and check on these puppies and get their updated weights for you. So, as always, we're going to do this in birth order, and we're going to start with Mr. Blue Collar over here. And Mr. Blue Collar is having a lovely little nap there. Do you want to get your bum out of the way for a minute, hon bun? Yes. And you can see he's got those beautiful white tail lights. You can see quite a bit of his white markings on his chest. Under his chin there, he's got that adorable little goatee. And I'm just letting him wake up slowly to understand that I'm about to move him. He is a gorgeous chocolate sable guy. Hello, handsome. Hi. And now you'll see when they hear my voice, they're starting to turn and look at me. Now that they're finding where the source of the voice is. And we're starting to see some nice eye contact. This is when I start to make more complete notes about each puppy, how they respond to everything, what their level of sensitivity is to the noises that they hear. And for Pirate, of course, he has quite a long notation. He certainly has quite a lot to communicate. So Mr. Blue Collar is 1.3 kilograms. So he is the smallest puppy in the litter. He's just the cutest little guy in the whole world, yeah. Next is Green Collar. Now, Green Collar is also a chocolate sable. Sable's such a neat pattern because you can see there's a big difference here between these two puppies in terms of what their color is. So Mr. Green Collar here is just going to come up and say hi. Hello, handsome. Hi, there we go. What you doing, buddy? Hey, Mr. Green has got the prettiest markings on his face. I just love all of the different hues that he has, and he's just really got quite a remarkable variation there and striations of colors going on. Mr. Green is a very soft and gentle boy right now, very quiet, and he is coming in at 1.4 kilograms. So he was the smallest puppy for a long time, but he no longer is the smallest puppy. And then we have our one and only girl, Red Collar girl. Now, Red Collar is not a sable. I would have to do a genetic test to be positive, but I am 99.9% sure she is a chocolate phantom and not a sable. She is a nice, rich, dark chocolate color, and then she has these pretty copper markings. That's what the phantom pattern is. And she's having quite a sleep there. She's got everything going. So she's going to be a little bit surprised when I pick her up. There we go, baby. Hi, sweet girl. Sorry to disturb you from your nap. Hi, how's it all going? Hello, pretty. And she has almost no white on her, just that little tiny bit there. That's it. And say hi to everybody. She too, similar to Green, has absolutely gorgeous variations of color on her face with those phantom hues. I scared you a little bit by putting my nose to yours. So now during the day, what I'm doing is I'm starting to desensitize them to big things coming near them. So I'll go like that and try and touch my nose to them. Right now, Red Collar is saying, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. So then I'll do this instead. And she's still pushing her head up, being uncomfortable with that. So that's just something that we work on. Now she's getting a little bit agitated. Now when she was much littler, I would have just put her down. Now I'm going to try and just rearrange her and refocus her and get her attention back over here so she's not feeling upset. And push her right into my face. Just gentle, give her a little rock. We'll talk for a minute so we can get her settled in. And I'll let you know that her weight is 1.27 kilograms. Oh, so if she's 1.27, then she's actually the smallest puppy right now. Sorry, that's my mistake. You used to be the biggest. There, see, now she lets me put my nose up there, and she's nowhere near as upset. Now, one of the other signs of stress, not right now, what she's doing in your dog is they'll yawn. And I mean they'll yawn when they ought not to be yawning. Obviously, she's yawning because I woke her up from her nap. There, see, now she's giving me a little kiss. So that's what I want to do. We want to have every experience, every time, be positive. And put her back down so she can go back for her sleep. Now we've got Mr. Motor Mouth here. Mr. Pirate. I'm almost afraid to pick him up in case we all go deaf. But he is such a cool guy. He has personality times 5. As you can see, he has no trouble communicating any of his desires and any of his needs. He is very, very happy to have people touch him. He really responds to a lot of tactile comfort, as you saw when I was trying to get him to settle down there. And you can see even already he enjoys having his ear scratched, and he doesn't mind if I come up and touch him. Now this little guy also, if you come into the box and he is in a deep sleep and doesn't know you're there, when you pick him up, he won't hesitate to growl. He says, yep, no, I might growl at you. He growls at his brothers sometimes. He really has a very big personality. That's who do. That's who do, very big personality. And Mr. Pirate is 1.31 kilograms. So from today's weights, that makes green collar actually the biggest. I don't think that that is going to remain like that. I think that probably this guy is going to end up being the biggest puppy in the litter, with red collar very close behind. It's just because right now he's not getting all of his needs met at the milk bar, which is why, as I said, we're going to move to the solid food. And then last but not least, we have this pretty chocolate sable boy, orange collar. And you can see he's similar to his brother Green here, but he again has more of the black. So sable is black, black banding and tipping. So what you're seeing there that's making his coat look darker is the tips of black that are in his coat. Whereas green collar, his tips are much more subtle. They're a little bit more underneath his coat, so they don't show through as much as oranges do. Hey, Orange. And Mr. Orangey Borangey here. Mr. Orange is 1.19 kilograms. Hello, handsome. And again, you'll see those beautiful colors and the different variations on his face from his sable pattern. And then his paws have kind of that modelly look, kind of a brindle look, all part of the sable pattern that he has. It may even be that he has some brindle in him. With ALDs, you are not able to accurately test for brindle, so we can only rely on a visual for that, but I think it's probably just the sable coming through. Oh, he's a very tired boy. And we'll just give him a little nudge and make sure, yeah, he's totally fine. He doesn't care what I do with him. I can touch noses. Yeah, just a good boy, aren't you? So because they're all responding very nicely to a lot of handling and a lot of whoops. Sorry, that was kind of abrupt. Poor baby. Being handled and having things changed, we feel really confident that we're able to move them this weekend into the Doodle Den, where they'll have a nice big space, and we will also take some pictures and share them on our private community page for our families, so you can see them when they're having their first meal. We'll take a couple of short videos and share those with you there too. So don't forget to check the community page. There's lots of pictures and lots of fun things to see there that we don't put on our main Facebook page. So we hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you have a chance and can leave a comment, that's so appreciated by us. A thumbs up is also appreciated. And so you continue to get new information, be sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you get notified when we have other videos come out. We'll see you again for our week 4 update, when we'll have moved, be eating solid food, and we'll have even more toys to talk about. Thanks so much for watching.